You know, I shared a message. I felt this conviction to start a Bible study. And I came across the Bible verse where it is the love of money that is the root of all evil. And I think a lot of Christians, especially I did growing up, I was like, okay, I'm a Christian. I got to be poor. I don't see any rich people. The pastor looks rich. He's got a Cadillac. But because he's the pastor, I'm not going to be a pastor. I'm not a pastor. Like it didn't, like you said, it was completely segregated. You're either a man of God and you're poor and you're humble, or you're a man of the world and you're rich. I'm like, all right, I want to go to heaven. I can barely do 20 minutes in the sauna, so I guess I'll just accept poor and be a man of God. But as I've grown, stayed in the Word and kind of just stayed in worship. I like to just call it worship. Just my worship and my relationship with God has kind of evolved and realized, like, dude, like the same God that was loving and taking care of David and Solomon, the wealthiest man in the Bible, probably the wealthiest man in the world, that's my God too. And you know, it's like if he loved him, I imagine he loves me the same. So we got another special guest today. We've got Garrett J. White on the AK Financial Podcast. So we're going to dive right in. I'm going to give you a little introduction. I told myself this year I'm going to start doing more of these because I like it. I like to edify people, build them up. We probably had this done thousands of times, so I'll give it a shot. So Garrett J. White is the founder of Wake Up Warrior, a movement dedicated to empowering men to achieve excellence in business, marriage, and family life. He has developed several programs, including Be the Man Challenge, Warrior Wealth, and Warrior Week, aimed at helping men lead more fulfilling lives. Garrett also hosts multiple podcasts, such as Date Your Wife, we were just talking about, Warrior Week, Warrior Health, and Warrior on Fire, where he shares insights on personal development and leadership. Through his work, Garrett emphasizes the importance of honesty and commitment, encouraging men to stop lying and start leading. He leads by example, sharing his personal journey of transformation and the principles he's developed to rebuild his own life. And Garrett's all over social media, guys. Literally all over social media. Instagram, Facebook. I don't know, TikTok?
TikTok, I haven't really done much on the TikTok.
I bet there's a lot of clippers out there where they farm content. I bet you're all over everywhere.
Yeah, probably. I'll tell you what though, my daughters were, it was a Memorial Day a few days ago when TikTok was down for 10 hours.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, sweet baby Jesus, thank goodness.
Yeah.
It's gone. And then it was back.
Yeah.
And one of my daughters deleted her app because she was like in revolt.
Yeah.
It's gone. She should delete that, but now they can't download the app.
Yeah.
Maybe she can download it later, but it's gone. So her whole account's gone because she deleted her app and she can't get back in. Now her other sisters got into the app because they didn't delete their app.
Yeah.
My wife was excited because she's all over TikTok too. And I was like, I don't care. I don't do TikTok.
Yeah.
I probably should do TikTok, but it hasn't mattered.
I use it to post my content that I'm like, I don't know if this is going to be good. And if it blows up there where I absolutely don't care, I'll be like, oh, it might do good on Instagram, it might do good on Facebook. So
yeah,
I kind of use it as my tester.
So why do you do this show?
Man, I do this show because I remember when I first got into insurance sales and just kind of the way I grew up, I felt like an underdog and nobody would talk to me. And I wanted people to hear my story and listen to me. And I wanted to be around bigger dogs, people that were doing more than me. And so I created this, wanted to be like a voice in a room where the underdog had an opportunity to share his story, where he's coming from, but also to start to connect with guys at your level that are, 1,000 times further ahead than the rest of us that are on that journey. So it's like I can learn from you and then pass it down to the next young guy, the next young girl that was like me. That's like, what am I doing with my life? Will I ever make it? Will I ever, go to the next level, or am I going to be stuck where I'm at? So I hated that feeling. I still have that like chip on my shoulder that I'm like, just another broke kid growing up on food stamps, food bank lines. Like it, I don't think that'll ever leave me. It feels like just yesterday. So that's why I created the show.
How old are you?
26.
26. So listen, here's the thing. It's crazy. Like your age groups, my son's 25. Like if you look at what you guys face, like the whole group of 20-something year olds right now, you face a challenge that we did not face. So when I grew up, by the time I was your age, at 25, I'd already been married, divorced, had cancer, and got a son. So all those 4 things had happened before I was 25. I've been a 2-year Mormon missionary. I played collegiate football at Boise State for 2 years. And I look at my son, I'm like, dude, the shit I went through, and I was the oldest kid. We had no money. We grew up with no wealth. I lived in trailers, Stockton, California, Yakima, Washington, the middle of these farming communities, way out in the fucking nowhere, 3 miles, 4 miles from school. big acre land in a trailer. Like this was my life. So I had no concept of anything. We didn't have social media. We had no cell phones. I was in the high school age where the drug dealers had pagers, beepers, like 911. You could do weird codes. Like you guys don't understand this. So we didn't have exposure to anything. So the only thing you knew was where you were. We didn't know girls from other high schools. We knew dudes who we played and fought and got in fights with on the weekends from other high schools. If you tried to go talk to another girl from another high school, you had to fight all the guys at that high school to get her. Like we grew up different.
Yeah.
Gen X grew up in a time where our parents, we would leave the house in the morning and then come home after the lights came on and the sun went down. Yeah. Parents didn't know where we were. Nobody was tracking anything. Nobody documented shit. So we were still doing shit, but we didn't have contrast. So we didn't know if you were raised in a place you didn't know about money and no one around you had money, you weren't going to see money. So we didn't even know we were broke. We had no concept. You guys now on your cell phones have the ability from the time you're like 3 to see wealth around the world.
Yeah.
And a game of comparison around the world, which I think is a beautiful thing because it gives you the opportunity to conceive of something. I couldn't even conceive it.
Yeah.
There was a dude, we thought being the only way to be rich was to play football, play professional sports, or be a doctor. I was too stupid to be a doctor. Couldn't do that because my friend's dad was a doctor and he had lights that turned on in their swimming pool. We thought it was fucking crazy. He was the richest dude we knew.
Yeah.
And he was probably making like $400,000 or $500,000 a year as a doctor.
Yeah.
And he was the rich dude in our city. And everybody else just was in trailers. We didn't know. No concept of it. Couldn't see anyone else with it. So to try to hunt money at that time was totally different. Most people would just want to get a job. Most people just go to college. Most people the idea of going and selling something to make money, it wasn't even a concept. You would hustle, but it just wasn't a concept. We didn't know. The idea that you should be a millionaire, it was not until like 1999, the first show came out called Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? It was a TV show.
Yeah.
And we were like, what the fuck? $1 million? Now I listen to my 5-year-old talk about she'd been raised in wealth and abundance, and then my girls just talk from a totally different frame.
Yeah.
They expect it. They expect life to be 5-star.
Yeah.
They were born on third base and have never hit a triple. They don't know how to swing a bat, but they live a life like on third base. So you guys have been raised in a world that's telling you, you should have all this shit right now. And so it's a trap. It's hard because the idea is not just only should you have it all right now, but you guys haven't, the whole generation, except for the ones who get it like you, who are willing to work, miss the work part.
Yeah.
Miss the become part, miss the suffer part, I have to fucking hurt to get what I want. Because I look at my own daughter. My daughter's amazingly talented. Work, it's not there. It gets hard, quit. I don't want to do that. It's only $25 an hour working at that place. That sucks. I'm like, I work for $4 an hour at the golf cart track.
Yeah.
Like, it's just different. But again, we didn't know. We had to read. My game started reading a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah.
25 years ago. That's where it started. Yeah. That was like my Instagram, seeing somebody like you or a podcast. There were no fucking podcasts. There was no live stream. There were no reels to waste my time on. And there were definitely no hot chicks with their asses out 24/7 and porn available at their fingertips.
Yeah.
We didn't have the distraction, but we also didn't have the vision. So we didn't have the down, we didn't have the up.
Yeah.
You guys have both. You have the distraction at the highest level, and you have the vision of what's possible at the highest level, which is why most 20-something-year-olds are fucked.
Yeah.
And the kids coming up behind them are fucked, unless you can find the path to work.
Yeah.
And if you can navigate that, you should do 100 times more than I've done by the time you're 40.
Yeah.
Not by the time you're 26. So everybody sees the software multimillionaires and the guys who hit it big in crypto. Everybody's so fast to try to go get money, they're not growing themselves.
Yeah.
It's challenging.
I love it.
When did you get into financial services?
I was 18, 19 years old. I turned 19 the same month. It was September of 2017.
How was that even an idea?
It was God. My dad he got out of jail maybe a year or two ago. When I was like 17, 16 years old, and we didn't talk the whole time he was away. And when he got out, he always knew how to get money. So, his crimes were related more to like white collar, wire fraud, just bad business deals, etc.
Right.
So did some big time with some big people. And I was like, man, I was so desperate in life, like you said. I had the vision of desperation and a combination of inspiration. But I told myself, I don't care what he does. I'm going to try to reconnect with my dad and figure, because he just got out and he was rich again. He got out of federal prison for 6-7 years, gets out and had money again, had a restaurant, and I was like, me and my mom are up here living off $1,000 a month with my little sister and, food stamps and food bank lines. I was like, I'm going to go see what he does. And I was there for a couple of weeks and we were just butting heads, and he was, I was a dishwasher at his restaurant, and I was like, we weren't connecting, but I was deep in worship. My mom put me in church. I was like 12 years old when I first gave my life to Christ. And I was just a big worshiper. I was never really a big fanatic on like reading the word. I couldn't quote you all the scriptures and things like that, but the worship would always stir my soul and heart, and that's my go-to place. So I was worshiping, man. I would turn on Elevation. I'd turn on any Trust in Jesus, and I was just damn near in tears every single day, 19 years old, asking God, please. I wanted to get rich to help my mom, because I think there's something happens when a young man sees his mom crying every night. Yep. You know what I mean? And a combination of her trying to figure out a way for us, but she did 2 years of federal prison time too. And so I think there was a lot of pain in that. And then, my desperation, I was a menace in the house, bro. I was bringing guns home and just being an absolute menace. So I think it just motivated me to, I just hit like what people call like rock bottom, which, it's funny because you're probably like, dude, 19 years old, there's no rock bottom for 19 years old. I didn't have cancer. I didn't have a son. I don't have any kids or anything like that. But it was my rock bottom that I created from my visual desperation. And so I'm just praying to God, and I'm going back I grew up on like a little farm in Arkansas. We raised Tennessee Walkers. I go back to Pennsylvania where my mom's from, and I'm just praying, and I got an automated email from an insurance company. So I uploaded my high school resume on Indeed. And I go check out this insurance company. There's Maseratis in the parking lot, hundreds of thousands of dollars I can kind of get an idea for. But now that it was physical, it was like proximity.
Yeah.
I could touch it and feel it. And I was like, I don't care what you guys are doing. You could be selling loads of cocaine. I didn't even know you could get I could care less. I want to do it. You know what I mean? So I get my insurance license, man, and it was off to the races. I made $114,000 my first year out of high school, and I got expelled my sophomore year. So people thought I was a drug dealer or figured out how to sell drugs. And here we are now, 7 years later. And I just launched my own insurance company, a couple weeks ago. So
come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Would you get in life or PNC or all
life and health? And
life
I
and
think
health.
Over time I'll expand into, just kind of the whole realm.
Good for you.
Yeah, man.
So your same story is how I got into mortgages.
Yeah?
Yeah. So which led me into insurance, life insurance and Paradigm Life.
Yeah.
So I was same situation. I was a football teacher and a football player, a football coach and a PE teacher.
Okay.
And rolling around on a bullet bike, coaching high school football, had been through my divorce, was just single. My son was in Canada with his mother. And I was just like, this is what I'm doing with my life. I want to coach football. I want to marry a cheerleader.
Yeah.
And raise football players and raise cheerleaders. That was like more, I was like, I played Boise State, played arena, played in Canada. I was like, that seems like the thing I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And then I had some friends of mine that had gotten into mortgages. I didn't know fuck all about mortgages. I had no idea what this was. My friend calls me one day, Matt Atkinson, Mexican guy, one of my buddies for years. And he goes, bro, come check this out. I was like, what are we doing? He's like, just meet me over here at this place tomorrow at this time. I'm like, okay. So I rip on my bull bike over there. I got like sweats on. I don't know why I was doing the one leg thing. One leg up, sweatpants, one leg down.
Yeah.
And I pull up into this like building and I go down in the basement. It's a giant call center. And I walk in, he's like, come on. So I go sit down in an office, and the manager of the team was 19. And we're like 25, 26. Yeah. And he's like, holds up this check, because we actually had checks, like big fucking open up, long ass checks.
Yeah.
And he holds up a check, and it was like $4,322. And I was like, dude, did you make that last month? I was making $1,400 a month as a PE teacher.
Yeah.
It's like, did you make that last month? He's like, bro, I made that last week. Just like you, I was like, I don't give a fuck what we're doing.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
So I went back to the head football coach and I said, hey, listen, man, I got this opportunity. What do you think I should do? And again, this was like my mentor, going to guide me. I was going to end up in Texas. I was going to coach. If I coach football, I'd be like one of the top NCAA coaches right now dealing with NIL issues.
Yeah.
I was going to be great no matter what I chose. I thought football was it. But then I got into financial services, into banking that day. And my head coach, the guy's mentoring me, says, get out. He's like, you're too talented to be here. You got too much skill to be in this industry. I work 3 jobs in the summer. I run stupid camps for people I don't want to run because I can barely pay my bills. I've been doing this for 30 years. I love the kids. You're too talented. Go make a difference in the world doing something else. So I'm like, okay, that's all I need to hear. My guy said leave, so I'm like, I'm out. So when I get into mortgages, that same game, I didn't understand what a mortgage was. I'd never had a mortgage. I'd never sold a mortgage. I'd never sold anything. Nothing. I just like done me. So I get on the floors and we have HP 12C calculators. We didn't have fancy computers, nothing, which is a calculator that does math, but it's all fucking backwards.
Yeah.
Sound like straight math. I could barely do straight math. Now we're doing backwards math on these calculators. Give a stack of leads like this. Just names, phone numbers, and addresses of people who have VA home loans. And I was like, what do we do? First day I get in, they made us wear suits. So I was like, fuck yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah.
We had to sit and watch the movie Boiler Room. And I was like, okay, what are we doing? He's like, get on the phone and dial. I was like, what do I tell him? Here's your script. I'm like, okay. So I read the script. Fuck it, let's go. 12 hours a day, hitting the phones. No money, 6 months. Just put it on a Discover card. I had a Discover card. I was putting it on a Discover. No money. 6 months in, $12,000. 6 months, month 6, I made $12,000 month 6. And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. Yep.
Paid off my credit card. Next month, like 18,000. Next month, 22,000. Next month, 28,000. Then I got smart, I thought, which is I did salesman math. It's like, dude, we're only making 25% on these loans. Me and some of the guys started talking in the pit. We're like, we're only, these motherfuckers are taking all the money. We're like, we should do our own thing. So we had a meeting at sushi. Yeah. I hated sushi at the time. My friend loved sushi. He's like, we're going to the sushi place. Oh man, sushi sucks, dude. He's like, no, you need to like sushi. People that got money like sushi.
Oh, we're like, it's like the same story. Like, really
I was like,
story.
This tastes like shit, dude. They don't even cook it.
Yeah.
Give me the cooked one with the fucking cheese on it.
Shrimp tempura is I still only eat shrimp tempura.
California rolls. That's my favorite. Give me some California roll sushi.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there. There's 6 of us and like, we should do our own thing.
Yes.
Now, the problem was those guys didn't create a path for us. If they were smart, which they did like 4 or 5 years later, they would have built paths for young guys like us to just be branches of them. But they weren't that smart time. They had like 300 dudes. And these guys were doing shit like giving people $500 to jump naked off the balcony into the pine tree.
Yeah.
And dudes are like, fuck yeah, give me $5. Dude, it was all young dudes. Parking lot just filled with Escalades with spinners. This was our generation, bro. Escalades with spinners on them, just like the 9s in the park. So we're like, we could do this. So we packed up us 6 and we moved to Vegas and we started our own mortgage company. So it was like within a year.
Yeah.
We didn't know shit about shit. Nothing. But we were aggressive and we knew how to sell one loan. Option arms. Now we got fined a couple times by the state of Nevada, $250,000 every time because we lied on our marketing. We didn't know we were lying on our marketing. We were just being effective.
Yeah.
We're like, how do we get the phone to ring?
Yeah.
Because we know how to develop leads.
Yeah.
But as you look at that whole process, that's how it went. We eventually moved into real estate, moved into funds, we moved into currency, we moved into life insurance. By the time I was all said and done, 8 years in, I had a team of 100 guys. We had a life insurance company. We had a real estate brokerage. We were charging people $2,500 to do loans with us for education. So we would teach them, bring them into a network, and then connect them to all our people. I was one signature away from 10 years in prison. Everyone around us went down. We were the young hitmen. We didn't ask questions. The time when I was before the 2008 collapse, we would send a loan into the bank. The underwriters would call us, hey, I'm gonna pretend like I didn't see that. I need the numbers to say this. At first we're like, what? But these are the numbers. I'm gonna pretend like I didn't see that. We need the numbers to say this. I wasn't so smart about that. My partner at the time was like, bro, hang up the phone. They want us to change them. Really? Dude, isn't that illegal? It's not our money, dude. If the bank's telling us to do it, we're getting money. The homeowner's getting a home. The bank's getting money. How's that not a problem? So we had our own department that forged documents. This was happening in all the brokerages. Our generation.
Yeah.
Banks are telling us what to say. So we had a department that just made up numbers. And the banks were telling us to do it. We didn't know. All 20-something-year-olds. I was like the oldest dude on our team. I was like 31 at the time. Everybody else in their 20s. It's just like the rise of what's happening with the young guys right now.
Yeah.
And then dudes started raising capital. Like Grant's doing, only not what Grant's doing. Like totally illegal shit. Ponzi scheme shit. All these bigger, older dudes like my age now around us were kind of running the gun in it. Getting all the young dudes to go strip equity out of real estate, put them into these funds. And I was like, paying out 1% to 2% a month. 3% a month. And they put the money in, a couple million, $4 or $5 million, and they get paid out 6 months, 7 months, they're still getting paid. So everybody's starting to believe this is going to fucking work. I'm like, so we're sitting there one day with one document. This was like our all in. If we did this, $9-10 million, the game starts, we're in, we start getting paid, our clients get paid, etc. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I fell off about it. My partner's like, dude, just sign, let's go. I was like, something's wrong with this, dude. Something's wrong with this. There was me and another guy, Garrett Gunderson. Garrett Gunderson wrote Killing Sacred Cows. Good friend of mine was in the insurance side. And we used to send a ton of clients to him. He sent a ton of clients back to us. And I was like, we can't sign this. So I didn't sign. All the rest of the big name dudes around us would be indicted and would all go to jail. Every one of the big dudes we knew went to jail except for me and Garrett. My teams left when banking crisis hit in 2008. We lost everything. Everything. I sit with 100 guys, one by one, and let them go. Fire my family, fire everyone. Grown men, families, weeping in front of me. Bro, what am I going to do? Because we'd never made money doing anything else. When you've only made money doing one thing, your mind doesn't see the world of making money. You just are like, I was fucking broke. Then I sold mortgages. Now mortgages are over. What do we do now?
Yeah.
Nobody knew what to do. And we didn't have mentors. We didn't have guides. We didn't have social media to go listen to cool people telling me cool shit. That wasn't happening. It was radio. Podcasts were barely becoming a thing. Reading books was like a thing we did, but we didn't have access. This is why you're seeing all the young generation being able to do things we couldn't do because we didn't have data.
Yeah.
We didn't have a clue what to do. There wasn't 75 different amazing personal development trainers online teaching. There was Tony Robbins. And that's it.
Yeah.
There were a handful of other dudes, but how were we going to get them? We were back in a CD time, bro. CDs.
Yeah.
When they started putting music on the little tiny little players and it was all fucking complicated and like Kazam and all these things came out with like Napster. We were stealing music on the internet. Like we didn't know.
Yeah.
So that whole place implodes, but that's when I got an insurance too. So I gave the insurance company one of my guys, Paradigm Life, still runs today, Patrick Donahoe, massive life insurance company. Insurance is amazing.
Yeah.
Incredible play. At 26, you keep playing the insurance game, it's fucking game over.
Yeah.
It's game over. That's why I tell people, if I wasn't called by God to do what I do in Wake Up Warrior, I am immediately back in life insurance. I'm still in life insurance right now.
Yeah.
I'm a couple million a year just doing life insurance without anyone even knowing I'm doing life insurance.
Yeah.
Because of the networks I have in financial services.
Yeah.
But the game itself is beautiful if you have the right heart in why you're doing it.
Yes.
And a lot of people are pretty fucked up in financial services.
Yes.
Stealing from people.
Yeah.
And I know because I was one of them.
Yeah.
We didn't even know we were doing it.
Yeah.
But we hurt a lot of people without trying to hurt a lot of people. Because we were really focused in our 20s and early 30s, just get paid. Don't be broke.
Yeah.
At all costs. At all costs. No matter what. I will not go back. 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 So then we lost it all. Most of the guys never recovered. To this day. Dudes that used to work for me, guys that used to run in the industry, still talking about the crash of 2008. I'm like, bro, it's 2025.
Still haven't let it go. Almost 20 years ago.
Bro, almost 20 years ago. They're still talking about this. Literally, you'll listen. Dude, we were killing it. Bro, that was 2 fucking decades ago and 4 children later for me. I've had 4 more kids since then. What are you doing? Why are you still sitting there? So what's the aspect of insurance that you love the most?
You know, I think back to one of my first sales when I sat down, it was this older lady. I think her name was like Margaret or something like that. It was a door knock. It's 9:30 at night. And we were just going over her final expenses. She's like, I don't have any final expense, protection. And I was like, well, do you have enough money saved aside to take care of, funeral and, expenses associated with death? And she's like, no. I was like, well, can you afford to set aside $100, $200 a month? I was like, it's not ideal. You typically want to buy life insurance when you're young, so you can get hundreds of thousands for a couple $100. But, are you going to save your way to, final expense protection, funeral protection, which can be 20, 30,000 plus? She's like, no. And I was like, all right, I'll go over some options and see what makes the most sense for you. And the biggest thing that I realized was like, the script never made me sell. What made me sell was imagining every person in front of me was like my mom. And I would just do the best I could for my mom, because it's like this, not everybody was blessed. When I talk about my relationship with my mom, I realized I thought every mother was a loving, amazing mother. And there's not everybody's blessed with like, great parents and, or just loving parents, I should say. So it blessed me because now I just kind of have done every business deal and looked at every person, even the people that don't do right by me. I was like, well, if that person's my mom, would I want to punch them in the face? Like, no, you know what I mean? Like,
maybe.
Yeah, maybe some arguments.
Maybe you won't punch your mom in the face. Might
but,
not punch her in the face, but you might
yeah,
want to.
bro. So, just genuinely, especially like, I think about one of the Bible verses where it's like, what good is it, to do all these things, but not to love? You know what I'm talking about? Like, what good is it for me to, give back to the poor and, do all these things, but not to love. So like challenging myself to genuinely love. And I don't know if that's a skill you develop or if that's something you're born with, but I've had a big heart for people, and it's been a big weakness for me. I've lost a lot of money. I've signed some bad deals and let some people take advantage of my youthfulness. And it's cost me a lot of money, and it's been kind of humiliating. But I've also looked at it as like, man, it's a child of God. I'm not going to go murder them. I'm upset by it at times, but it's a lesson when I reflect on it. So like my whole purpose is impacting people. And since I was young, people were like, man, maybe you should go preach. You're passionate. You speak with passion. You got fire. And I was like, I love the church, but I want to preach outside of the church. You preach in the church. I want to go preach to those guys, those girls. And so bringing my faith into the business has been my biggest move, because I feel like faith is just love. God is love. So I just try to bring love wherever I go to whoever I meet. And when I align with the right people, it's not overnight, but over time, God's brought me way further than I ever deserved. So that's kind of my life insurance journey so far. And that's my life journey. I'm going to go out on the sword loving. So we'll see.
The fact that you are 26 and talking like this is the thing that surprised me, like about the 20-something, 30-some-year-olds I meet who are actually getting it. Like, you guys are figuring out how to thread the needle. It's like you've taken the wisdom and the discipline and the work from Gen X, and you've taken some of the technology and the savvy from the millennials. And then there's like this ability, when you can leverage everything, the work ethic, the foundation in God, the disciplines and skills in business, and technology, like put all of this together, like it's over. Like none of you in this age group should lose.
Yeah.
This should be the most successful age group that's ever walked the fucking planet.
Yeah.
Per capita, the number, percentage-wise, should be the wealthiest group that's ever walked the game. Period.
Yeah.
Because you're coming into a time, like how you're operating took me until I was probably 35, 38 to talk like this. And you're doing it before being married. You're doing it before having kids. You're doing it before, like, dude, we were stupid. We were just stupid. We didn't know shit. We're dumb. Like, people are like, what was the difference? We were dumb. We were street smart.
Yeah.
And we hustled. That was the only thing we knew. That's why you look at my whole age group, we work like fucking crazy.
Yeah.
People are like, lifestyle, fuck off. We're going to work 12 to 14 hours a day, 6 days a week, because that's how we do it. Because that's what we knew. Because it worked. Because it was the only thing we had.
Yeah.
If you wanted something, work harder. That's why you get David Goggins. You got all these dudes, Jocko, you got Andy Elliott, Wes Watson. We're like, shut the fuck up and work. And the young guys that are getting this with the modern edge of wisdom and knowledge and tech that are hearing that message are pulling off what you're pulling off. Now, the big message is coming now and circulating everyone is this message of God. Which wasn't part of my conversation. We weren't talking about that. We talked about the voice at Warrior. God. Kind of thought maybe there was a God, Maybe it wasn't. But that was not a conversation you were having publicly.
Yeah.
People talk about that. Talk about church. And we were like, church? Fuck off. What nothing to do with your church talk. Go away. Too many liars.
Yeah.
Too many hypocrites. Too much bullshit. If I get one more fat dude quoting me from the Bible, I'm like, get yourself fit and come talk to me.
Yeah.
Because your lack of discipline here tells me everything I need to know about your life. Don't tell me you're spiritual when you can't even take care of the one thing God's given you to live in this place. You sweat going to the mailbox. I can only imagine the torrential sweat pour you put on your wife trying to have sex. Like, you got to lift the garage up to actually get in. Like, what are you doing? And it's so simple for guys. That game right there. Can you handle it? Can you deal with your body? No. Can you deal with your addictions? No. Okay, well, don't tell me how spiritual you are.
Yeah.
I'm in the Word every day for an hour. Okay. It's not working. It's not working. I'm broke. I'm fat. I'm unhappy. I'm miserable. I love Jesus. Well, I appreciate your love for Jesus. But Jesus didn't say, by how much you love Jesus, you will know them. By your fruit. And your fruit is ridiculous. Your wife won't talk to you. Your kids hate you. You're fat. You're tired. You're burned out. And you're angry. And you're playing Call of Duty and you're 43. What the fuck is wrong with you? I expect that at 19. Like, you guys are rising into a world where the whole game is being flipped.
Yeah.
If you will play this game right, with this work committed to a foundation of God, that was the piece I was missing. Because we rebuilt everything, but we didn't have that. We were teaching men a warrior, wake up and have it all. That was our concept. When I lost everything, I spent 4 years just in darkness. Affair, drugs, chaos. Just like, okay. And in that place, like, I got called 15 years ago, called. And I called God, I just called a voice. I heard a voice, that's it. One simple question. Run on a treadmill, watching Joel Osteen of all things on TV. Why was I watching Joel Osteen? I don't know. I was running ultras at the time. I was 170 pounds and I just fucking ran all the time because I had nothing else to do. Because anytime I tried to make any money, it was sucked immediately out of my accounts because I owed everybody so much money. So I was in this weird, helpless place. I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do. Doesn't matter how much I make. I owe too much money to everyone. I make the money. Everybody left the debt on me. Everyone else went bankrupt, left it with me. I got to clean myself and the companies, everybody else out of this hole. I got 2 kids. My wife doesn't trust me at all. She shouldn't have. I was an untrustworthy man. And in this shattered bottom of the pit of life, I hear one simple question. Running on the treadmill in the basement, early in the morning, watching Joel Osteen. And it says, if I lead you to these stages, will you say what I need you to say? I paused, stepped off the treadmill. I was looking up at the ceiling. We were in this rental. It wasn't finished in the basement. And I was like, I don't know who's talking to me, but it wasn't my voice. And I was like, yeah, I'll say whatever you need me to say. I got back on the treadmill. I kept running. For the next 2 years, God would map, not knowing it was God. I just followed this voice. And I loved ultra running because I could go deep at about 10 miles into the forest by myself on the trails. All the noise would shut off. It was better than alcohol. It was better than popping perks. It was better because I was still present. And I would hear this voice talk to me. And so I'd run and run and run until I was exhausted. And then this ego would shut off. And then I would hear this voice talk to me and teach me and train me. And start showing me how to build this game. And the simple question was, can a guy have it all? Is it possible? Can you be fit, connected to the voice and power of God, in deep, passionate, emotional, sexual, physical connection with your wife, spiritually lead your children, and be rich? Can you do all those things at the same time? Because I didn't know anyone. You were either rich and let everything else go, or you were super spiritual and you're broke. Those were the examples I had. Super spiritual people, I love Jesus, I love God, I love whatever, I love the universe, meditation camps and whatever, plant medicine, and then no money. Or Wall Street banking guys I ran with that just made money.
Yeah.
And that was the beginning of Warrior. I started putting this game together in my journal every day. He would show me pieces of it, and I would create another piece, and I would create another piece, and I started living it. I started putting KPIs my whole life. I started tracking my life, and I was like, how do you know if you're a good husband? How do you know if you're a good boyfriend? How do you know if you're a good father? How do you know if you're connected to God? Your body and money's easy. Okay, I'm fit. Scale says this, mirror says this, bank account says this. Okay, cool, winning. Then you move into the abyss. How do I know if I am aligned with God? Because I went to church? No. Because I read the Bible? No. Plenty of people read the Bible and go to church and they suck.
Yeah.
They're not happy. They're not connected. They're not hearing anything. They're regurgitating what their pastor says every week. Like, that's not even your original thought. You just listen to your pastor tell a good story. You just retold the same story you just heard on Sunday.
I love stealing Stephen Furtick's messages.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, he's great. The pastors are great.
Yeah.
Those guys are earning that wisdom for themselves, and then they're sharing it with the world, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
While everybody else sits like they're participating in watching porn.
Yeah.
It's like watching your pastor have sex on stage. That's really what most people are doing in church. They're like, let me go to church and bring my family, have some coffee and donuts, get some childcare, sit here for an hour and a half. So good, so good, so good. Oh yeah, go pastor. You got it. Go, woo! And then leave church and go right back to the same shit.
Literally.
And a lot of people I watched doing the God conversation have run from the world. They've run from the world to hide in the church. So they're only powerful when they're in the light.
Yeah.
They're only powerful when they're witnessing to people who already believe. And so that's why you see in Christianity why there's so much cross wars between all these religions and denominations, even the non-denominational world. I don't agree with my pastor. I'm going to start a new church.
Yeah.
The non-denominational world is a religion. They don't want to pretend they are. They all do the exact same shit.
Yes.
That's called religion.
Yep.
It's no different than the Jehovah's Witnesses, Mormons, Catholics, Baptists. It's now non-denominational Christianity has become, it's a lot funner, way more fun. But they all follow the same church arc system. They follow the same sequence. This is how you do it. And at the end of the day, they're businesses.
Yes.
They're business. My kids sit in church, I'll be like, okay, watch.
Big business.
Here comes a set. Worship, 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 worship. Here comes the pitch. Get ready for it. Building fund. Oh, surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
And where's the most money for the building fund come from? About 5% of the people in church.
Yeah.
And who are the ones that are funding the nonprofit? The for-profit producers. Which means the church is funded by producers who make money and who earn profits. Everyone else there is taking.
Mm-hmm.
They just take. They don't even help set up chairs. They don't even take them down. They come in, they leave. They come in, they leave. And you're like, for what? So you feel like you did something on Sunday with your family?
Yeah.
So my mission has been this different piece, was not just waking up God, but waking up men. But in the last 3 years, it's been, I'm going to bring Christ to the front line of the darkness.
Yeah.
I'm bringing Christ out of church. I like church. I like it. I love what the pastors are doing.
I like it on YouTube.
Yeah, and I kind of want to throw chairs at people when I'm there. I'm like, where's all this enthusiasm on a Tuesday?
Yeah.
Where's all this enthusiasm and you not speaking truth on your social media? Why are you still hiding about your truth with Christ?
Yes.
Why are you not bringing it into the business conversation?
Yes.
Why do you only share it on Sundays or at Tuesday night Bible study? Why are you not becoming the power of Christ in reality in you? Why is the kingdom inactive in your life? Don't talk to me about kingdom if you're asleep.
Yep.
So you've been down this path and you've built the financial world. You're launching your insurance company. Congratulations. Welcome to a whole new level of crazy.
Literally.
Being in a company or running a company of your own, different world, different evolution. Congratulations. This piece over here, and then you have this God piece. How do you see those two fitting? Money and God.
You know, I shared a message. I felt this conviction to start a Bible study. And I came across the Bible verse where it is the love of money that is the root of all evil. And I think a lot of Christians, especially I did growing up, I was like, okay, I'm a Christian. I got to be poor. Mm-hmm. I don't see any rich people. The pastor looks rich. He's got a Cadillac, but because he's the pastor, I'm not going to be a pastor. I'm not a pastor. Like it didn't, like you said, it was completely segregated. You're either a man of God and you're poor and you're humble, or you're a man of the world and you're rich. I'm like, all right, I want to go to heaven. I can barely do 20 minutes in the sauna, so I guess I'll just accept poor and be a man of God. But as I've grown, stayed in the Word and kind of just stayed in worship. I like to just call it worship. Just my worship and my relationship with God has kind of evolved and realized, like, dude, like the same God that was loving and taking care of David and Solomon, the wealthiest man in the Bible, probably the wealthiest man in the world, that's my God too. And it's like, if he loved him, I imagine he loves me the same. You know what I mean? So it's like, I look at money and my prioritization of that is, and I looked at the 10 Commandments too. I feel like a lot of people are like, I haven't looked at the 10 Commandments since I was probably like a young boy. And I was like, let me just go look at like the OG word of God, the rules, the guidelines. And the first commandment was, don't put any other gods above God. I believe it was like no idolatry. I could be right. One of the first two or three. And I'm like, all right, simple. I'm going to keep God first in my life. I'm not going to put my wife, my girlfriend, I should say, my soon-to-be wife. I'm not going to put her above God. I'm going to be engaged.
When are you engaged? Is it a surprise?
The business does good. It's not going to be. I've been telling her since day one I'm going to marry you.
Maybe you get engaged and the business will do better.
Yeah.
Maybe you get married and the business will do better. Maybe you don't wait till you got the money. Maybe you just go and that is the catalyst to the money.
I've been telling her since day one I want to get married.
So why don't you just get engaged?
We got to go fly. I want to ask her dad in person. Her dad's in Israel.
Well, how long does a flight to Israel take?
12 hours.
12 hours? You got the money for a flight?
Yeah.
Okay. So when are you going to fly there?
First quarter. So in the next couple months.
Okay.
Yeah. So I plan on having this done. Yeah, this is a top priority project.
I love it.
But yeah, I want to shake his hand, ask him in person.
Here's why I stopped you on that, because I get it. I get the frame of like, man, I want to make sure the business is going before.
Yeah.
It's never going to be ever. There will never. Because all it's going to happen is you're going to launch a business. You're going to be stressed. You're going to get more stress. And then it's going to be like 6 years from now. You're going to be that dude that's been with a girl for 10 years. And you're like, oh yeah, we're going to sometime maybe get married and engaged.
Yeah.
Like, why? There's a power that comes with commitment. And today, more than anything, people follow men who are committed.
Yeah.
And in a world of people who are uncommitted in relationships, both married people. Listen, married people, my generation and our parents before us completely fucked the marriage game up.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have truth coming into marriage. We all came in lies, half truths. There was no transparency. The internet in your generation is forced truth. Like it's forcing truth out to be seen what it is.
Yeah.
So coming together in a relationship like this is actually the strongest power play. It's harder for a single guy to build an empire than a married guy.
Yeah.
Because your purpose is different. It's easier to take your foot off the gas.
Yeah.
That's why a dude with kids will build bigger shit than most single guys will. It's not that there aren't single guys. Even Elon Musk, he's got a whole bunch of kids. He got 12 kids.
Yeah.
Like 4 women. Now, is that the path? I don't know. That's his path. And guess what? I know God's called him to do what he's doing too.
Yeah.
Just like Steve Jobs was called to do what he was doing. Cool. Just like Trump's called to do what he's doing. Just like you're called to do what you were doing. Just like David and Solomon were called to do what they're doing. But there's a game that comes in the commitment game. Both to make the commitment is deeply challenging. Because to make that commitment, you're saying what?
A vow before God.
You're saying, dude, I'm all the fuck in with this woman.
Yeah.
And life actually begins after that commitment.
Yeah.
Because when the person you choose to marry is the single most important decision you will ever make in your entire fucking life. Yeah. And the woman you're saying yes to, she'll be different 2 years from now. She'll be different 4 years from now. And you're going to have to keep choosing her. Yeah. And she's going to have to keep choosing you. Two people growing, trying to choose to be together. It's craziness is why most dudes are just choosing to be single.
Yeah.
Because that's an insane project to make happen. Yet, when you can figure it out, the focus factor in business goes exponential.
Yes.
There's not the distraction. You're like, yeah, there's all these chicks, so what?
Yeah.
That's my girl. This is my life. This is my empire. Let's go. No distractions. Just go.
Yeah.
So how do you know she's the one?
I had this non-negotiable list I made after my last relationship. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to look at this almost like what I should have done in regard to business. It's like auditing relationships.
Yeah.
And praying and knowing, like, I think it's one thing to like, oh, I'm going to pray about it and like having that voice of God, but it's like God gave me his word so I can just use his physical word for me to kind of use some guidance. And I made this non-negotiable list of, I'm going to find a woman that is going to align with me. And the top priority was in alignment in faith. And then secondly, a woman that understands I'm going to work until I die, and we're business partners. So like to have that parallel, in our relationship is what I need, because I'm not wired to ever be like off. I'll always be doing some form of, growth and impact until I die. And I needed that woman that's, I think I heard a saying, it's like you either have a woman that puts up with a busy man or a broke man. And it's like, I'm going to be busy until I die. Not for just the desire of the money, but like my soul needs to create. It needs to move. It needs to create and produce. Yeah. And so, it was always like instantaneous. I tried to like stay away, and I feel like I kept getting pulled towards this beautiful blonde girl. And I was like, kind of a weakness, you know what I mean? The blondes. But I see this beautiful blonde girl, bro. And I'm like, nah, you know what I mean? That's just your weakness. And she just kept popping up, and I'm studying her habits. And I guess like a stalker or a hunter, you know what I mean? I'm like, this girl, she's up early, she's reading, she's development, she's, faithful and interfaith. And I'm like, these are the tributes. And I'm looking at it now as like, could that be a mother? Could she be a good mom? Opposed to like, oh, that's just a sexy girl.
Right.
And I'm like looking at it as like long-term investing. Like, okay, if I put my money here, is this a place that I can build for eternity or for a long period of time, opposed to, can I just have fun for a night?
What hooked you? Was she her habits, or she was hot?
Oh, dude, I think it was a combination of.
What did you see first?
Obviously the physical attraction.
Of course.
Like, boom,
this is part so funny to me. People are like, my mom, like after my divorce, she was trying to like hook me up with these girls, and I was like, no, I can't do it, Mom. She's like, what is wrong with you? You need to look for something deeper. I was like, Mom, if I'm not attracted to her, like, what do you want me to tell you? I can't pretend I like think she's hot. She's not hot. Not to me.
Yeah.
Like I can't do it. Okay, so we got hotness out of the way, and this is a piece too that people forget. You can have the most beautiful woman and be married or be in a relationship, and if you two are not connected and growing, she'll be disgusting to you.
Yes.
Like I'm talking perfect fucking 10.
Yes.
And nothing, you would rather slam your dick in a drawer and masturbate with sandpaper than touch this woman.
Literally.
And I've had that experience in my marriage. Yeah. I've worked with 65,000 men. I understand what this dynamic is in relationships. So the things you're asking, by the way, we never asked this shit. My generation didn't ask any of the great stuff you're talking about.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have found one dude who's like, at our age group, when at your age, it was like, I just examined her habits and her holiness. She's hot too. She got the habit. She's holy. She's hot.
Yeah.
And you keep rolling with these H's. She got great hair.
Yeah.
I was like, we didn't do that. We were like, she's hot.
Yeah.
I think this will work. We didn't even know we should ask for something else. Because guess what? Our parents didn't talk at all.
Yeah.
About anything to us.
Separate rooms.
Nothing.
Yep.
Do you know what my dad's sex advice was before I got married? That was one time my dad talked about sex. No. He came to me and said, you should have a hand rag. I said, for what? He's like, it's messy. That was it. I'm like, that's it. There's only sex talk my dad ever had with me. That right there was the talk. You should have a hand rag. It's messy. That just puts an exclamation point on my parents' sex life.
Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah.
So this whole piece that you're pushing into is the same piece that every guy has to push into. Challenge the hard stuff now with her.
Yeah.
Because guess what? What's your girl's name?
Gally,
listen, don't take disrespect from what I'm about to say, so just receive it.
Yeah.
She's a bitch. My wife, Danielle, is a bitch. They all have bitchiness in them.
Yeah.
They're all bitches. All of them, 100% of women, bitches. Yeah. Not in like I'm saying, but you are an asshole.
Yeah.
And I'm an asshole. You have to be an asshole to be good at what we do.
Yeah.
And guess what? To be a powerful woman, you have to have a bitch in you.
Yeah.
And they're all in there. So if you can just come to terms with the fact that every single woman is a bitch, every single man's an asshole, you've got to determine, do I like that one?
Yeah.
Can I work with that one? Does she piss me off in the right ways?
Yes.
Because all of the facade goes away after you're married. All of the honeymoon goes away. And then there's you grinding, building a business with a woman who said she supported you until she had you. Oh, they're great at saying they support you until they have you.
Yeah.
Now they're like, yep, that penis is mine. He's not going anywhere. Now, without the habits and disciplines in her, that's great. Now she's got them. So you keep pushing against that.
Yeah.
Don't tolerate anything less.
Yeah.
and not from now and not forever.
Yep.
Because this is where guys mess it up. I deal with all the dudes that got married your age, my age in my 20s, who went through hell for 20 years, didn't have this awareness, didn't have these conversations, didn't know how to have these conversations, couldn't talk about sex with their woman, couldn't have the hard, couldn't fight. When the asshole and the bitch come out, they didn't know how to deal with it. So they blow up and be overreactive, and then she would get hurt and scarred, and then they separate and they just isolate, and then they raise kids and they just endure and praise Jesus, and then the women start divorcing all of them. 70% divorce right now, women in their 40s saying, fuck you, I'm out.
Yeah.
So you, in this investigation process, it's no different than when you're working with a client. So she's the one, she gets to be the one here.
Yep.
And she also has to be the one here. And the most important thing we found amidst all our men is this: can she collide with you? And can you two fight in a way that creates growth?
Yeah.
If you can't, run.
Yeah.
If you can, it's the most important characteristic. Can you and her speak the truth, no matter how painful it is, no matter how dark it is, no matter how light it is? Can you talk about hard shit? And can you war in hard shit and still love each other and grow? Because it's not if you're going to fight. It's not if you're going to have battles. You're about to build your first company. The pressure and stress of doing this, payroll, expenses, money, all the shit, taxes, people stealing from you. It's not if it's going to happen. Suing you, all the shit's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. Can she handle the darkness that's going to come out in you to build this?
Yeah.
And can she match that darkness with love? And also, when you're off, kick you straight in the dick? And can you receive that loving dick kick? I couldn't. My story was my wife's a critical bitch. 99% of men, my wife's a critical bitch. I need a different woman. That's a wrong woman. So then they go get a quiet woman who doesn't talk. And then they're what? Bored.
Yeah.
And now they're like, man, I wish you would just have some fire. Give me some fire. Guide me somewhere. Give me some, come on. Dudes can't make up their minds. You want a doormat who just smiles and laughs at your jokes, or you want a queen that causes you to rise? The real gold diggers are women who dig the gold out of their men.
Yeah.
These are queens. These women don't fuck around. They will look you straight in the eye and say, no, this is not the man I married. This is not why I signed up. You keep leaving the throne and fucking the whores outside the castle. I am not down with this game. I'm a queen. I'm not moving. And building shit with a woman who can be immovable with you. Empires. But that means you have to be immovable. The biggest issue guys have, entrepreneurs, reactivity, release of anger. We're in the Bahamas. We've been there for 4 days. We swam with the pigs. Disgusting, by the way. We did the pig thing. Of course, we're fucking happy. Got no kids around. Not worried about payroll. Not worried about the teams. It's just us. We're good. Love this woman. Then Monday shows up. Somebody sues you. 2 of your team members have been infiltrating the business and stole from you. People over here are now talking shit. Social media is running their fucking mouths. Your teenagers decide they want to start cutting themselves. And you're going to have to hold the fucking line inside of this chaos. And she has to trust that you won't move. Will you move? Because these women are going to test this our whole lives. It doesn't end. Queens don't stop testing because they're constantly he's immovable at 26. Where is he at 28? I'm pregnant now. Where are you going to go now? You going to run now? This is storing back all these women's minds. Is he solid enough? Because guess what's being shown to them right now from majority of the men? Fuck boys, immovable pussies. Can't do shit, won't do shit, can't be committed to shit. Minute gets hard, I'm out.
Yeah.
And in Miami, well, it's even worse. Because you got 14 other beautiful women behind that one woman. And so dudes pass the queen to go fuck around with whores. She's like, fine. Goodbye. This conversation at the core is the core of financial services. When you look at people dealing with money, estate plans, insurance, protection, when you expand that conversation to protecting their homes with God, teaching your clients to be weaponized as men, no one will touch your agency. Everybody else is selling a product. When you stop selling life insurance to protect lives when people are dead, and you start showing people how to protect themselves in power while they're living, you'll sell 100 times more insurance. Nobody's excited about buying life insurance about being dead. That's a horrible pitch.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, I got a plan. You want to buy a lot of insurance when you're dead? Nope, pretty sure my wife can go find a rich guy when we're done.
Yeah.
Or you're talking to a dude, you want some more life insurance? No, I kind of don't want to be with this woman right now.
Yeah.
Why would I protect anything? Well, that's the problem. We figured out how to repackage the whole conversation of life insurance under this God conversation. Protection is production. Picking the right woman is protection in production.
Mm.
So I was want to say, how do you know?
Yeah.
Habits, hair, hot, holy.
Yes. The 5 H's of a woman.
I like it. So we're going to get engaged first quarter then?
Yeah.
All right. You already have a ring?
I do not have a ring. I got a tattoo. Does that count?
Tattoo ring?
Tattoo of her name.
Oh, where'd you get tattooed at?
Back of my neck. Right here.
Oh, nice. Well, that's like a step in the right direction.
Yeah, it's a step right there. Yeah, it's still visible.
That's easily covered up.
Visible. Yeah.
That's easily covered up. Okay. So you have a team already?
Oh, yeah. So I built up a 200, 300 person agency, but in the process of exiting from the last company, the non-competes, non-solicits, but we got a couple, probably got like 15, 20 individuals right now.
Awesome.
So we're building, scaling.
It's awesome.
And it's awesome because now it's all around high quality, where the previous company was more kind of like a mass recruiting, low quality product, and then distributing to, again, that low quality market. What I found is, working with high quality people just brings way more revenue on a business standpoint.
For sure.
But for some reason, high quality people just bring like low quality headaches.
Yeah.
Or like minimal headaches, and correspondence to like low quality people bring like these massive headaches.
Yeah.
Do
you know
what
why?
I mean? Why?
What do you think? You got the 200-300 people on the team. You guys run out. You've had experience with both. Why do you think that working with people who have more money, more net worth, like why are they easier to work with?
Higher standards. You don't.
Yes.
You attract what you are, what you consist of,
and are more accountable.
Yeah.
Low ticket shit are unaccountable people.
Yeah.
You give them as much, they expect the world. Mm-hmm. The worst clients I have are $50 clients.
Yeah.
They think they've wired me millions of dollars. They're the ones on my social media. I bought that car for you, asshole. I'm like, wow, okay. How about we send that one his $50 back?
Who's been your best client? Your best student?
Best students. Well, see, in my world, like you can't be a best student unless you're willing to tell the truth. And telling the truth is real hard. Telling the truth is hard because telling the truth is exposing.
Yeah.
And to be able to tell the truth as a man is one of the hardest things a man has ever asked to do. But not just the truth of like dark shit, the truth of what you want. It's even harder. Most guys get so wrapped up in the inability to tell the truth about where they are that they never actually can tell the truth about what they really want. There's an interconnection between these two ideas. Here's where I'm at. Here's how I feel. Here's where I'm at right now. Here's how I feel. Here's what the results are. Here's what this looks like. Now here's what I want. So guys that come into my world, the best kinds of guys that I can get to truth, which is most of them. Then you say, who are the best guys in that? Guys that do work, who see that their life is their responsibility. I'm not your savior. That's already been handled. I'm your guide, but I'm not going to backpack your ass to the top of the mountain. It's not my wife. It's not my kids. It's yours. So then you divide it up and you say, who are those guys? Well, we got two groups of guys. We have guys who've already established and built empires, who rebuild, find God, and build an empire spiritually with what they've done, that repair their marriages, that deal with their wives in a powerful way, rebirth the relationship. I just married one of my top guys from Jupiter. Went through, worked for 7 years, took his company public, DMS, billion-dollar valuation, hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue, 700 employees. I was with him when he started, like 15 million. And I went through the divorce process with his wife. Fucking murderous process. So much pain, so heavy. And we sat on a board in his house up in Jupiter, and I said, after his divorce, and I said, okay, now that we've gotten clear about what is, what time is it? Wrap it? We just got the buzzer. That's all right. We like the buzzer. It's 10:18, so we got like 12 minutes. Right? Is that how much time we need? Like 12 minutes? 12 minutes is perfect. 10:30. So I'll go through the divorce with them, and then we write up on the board like what does he desire in a woman? Because he'd never been with a woman that supported him. He didn't even know how that felt like. He just was a woman that was constantly destroying things. Trying to attack him, trying to attack the kids, just a fucking nightmare. Drug problems, alcohol problems, just fucking nightmare. Most guys that are producing at a very high level have very dark worlds happening. Nobody sees it though. They just see him ring the bell on stock exchange. They see these guys building. Everybody thinks they're perfect. They know there's problems. You peel one layer back on the backside, it's dark shit. That's why building anything requires dark shit. You don't build to the peak with light. You uncover light through darkness. The reason a man becomes powerful is because he learns how to walk the pit. And the only reason he builds something massive is because he's willing to walk into the darkness in ways other men will not. And so there I am standing marrying him and this woman, Stephanie. We had envisioned her. This Cuban girl. Everything he's ever wanted. To the point he tried to sabotage it like 5 times. Because he didn't know what it felt like to be in a relationship with a woman that actually was all in. That supported him. That was a queen. That cared. Like this girl you're talking about. He'd lived 20 years without it. Now he's 52. And got the scars of all those years of being unsupported. Now he's with this woman who supports him. And it's fucking weird to him. He's like, I don't know how to do this. I've gotten used to, like somebody's used to always drinking every day. And they drink all day. And they don't even know what it's like to not drink all day. Or they take pills all day. Or they're always high on gummies. And that's just normal. And then they get off and they're like, whoa, holy shit. Everything's like in 4K. This is weird. I've been high about 10 years. So these guys find this truth in them. And he finds this truth with her. And I'm standing there running this wedding with 300 of their friends. High-end people, Palm Beach, etc. And run this wedding. And it was such an honor for me to be there with those two. Because I knew the journey. I knew when they met the first time. I was on the phone calls. She was calling me when he was trying to sabotage it. I'm like, he's good. Let me talk to him. What are you doing, bro? She's it. Why are you doing this? Fucking freaking out. I was like, I know. Why? Business stress, ex stress, people stress, money stress, kid stress. It's all great when there's no stress. But how do you show up when there's stress? The only thing we've found that's helped any man is truth, and truth gives you access to God. Where God is, transformation of a man is possible. All the motivational talk won't work. That's why all the hypey shit on social media, who cares? You watch 15 more reels, you'll still be stupid. You'll be smart up here, you're still dumb now. You're still stuck, you're still locked in a box, you're still in prison. So if you can build what you're building from truth, regardless of what it costs you, lose a deal, fine. But the truth I'm talking about is not just the truth of the word, it's the truth of the word in you. It's you being all of you unapologetically. Unapologetically. With no reservations. People want to work with you, great. They don't because they don't like the pivot because God just evolved you to a new version of you. This happens to me every year. People liked me last year, some people don't like me this year. You're not the same anymore. I hope not. If I was the same dude I was at 25, we're in trouble. The man that you become at the speed you're going, you should eclipse all the shit we're doing. Pass us. Chase us. We want you to. You should be better. You're going to do podcasts with guys like me getting wisdom poured into you from dudes who are 2 decades down the road. I could be your father. And we're saying, well done. And keep it grounded in truth. Keep it grounded in God and build. But this woman that you choose will either be brakes or gas. You got to get it in that decision right there. Can this woman grow with me? Will she grow with me? Will she hurt with me? Will she be there when dark shit happens? Can I come home to a woman who can appreciate and respect the work and war that I'm in every day? Or will I come home like most men to war at home also? And most men in this country who run companies leave war in the boardroom and come home to war in their homes. That's why they drink. That's why they sedate. That's why they cheat. Because there is no place of safety. There is no refuge from the storm. War all day, war all night. This is why we see divorce happening, we were happening, and the game's falling apart. What are you hearing from all this?
That my girl's great. Yeah, she's
Good.
made my life. We've been together almost a year. My life's 10x. I wouldn't have started the business without her. So,
Awesome. There's a lot of young couples rising like this.
Yeah.
You guys got to learn from all our stupid shit.
Yeah.
It's easy because a lot of us are putting it out there. Start couples counseling now. Now.
Yeah.
Prevent it. Anticipate the chaos.
Like vitamins.
Yes. It's like, why go to a chiropractor? To protect. Like, I'll go to a chiropractor, my neck hurts. How about you go to a chiropractor every week so you don't ever have a hurt neck?
Mm.
This is all like stuff that we wish we had done years ago.
Yeah.
Pour into your teams. Invest in your teams. Bring God into your business. Read the Bible with your teams. Read it with your clients. Study the word together. Fundamentally teach it through the principles of finance. Use the business Bible. Business Bible is a perfect weapon for this. Teaches entire economic theory through the principles of God. All of it justified by the Bible.
Mm.
There's a new generation of men being called. You are one of them. That's why we're doing this. But I and the men that run doing this can't do it alone. It has to be thousands of us who bring God to the front line of industry. Christ to the front line of business. I don't need one more and you don't need one more mega church. They're great. Let them do their thing. It's awesome. If they could have done it, they would have done it. We, on the other hand, know a world they do not conceive of. A world that no one in the world we're in will listen to them. But they'll listen to a 26-year-old who somehow at 18 decided to make a decision with a father coming out of prison and a mother who loved him to lean into God, found his queen at 26 and launched an empire. You should be bigger than Patrick Bet-David. You have the advantage of seeing what he built. You're bigger than me, bigger than all of us. You receive this?
Yeah.
I like you a lot.
Like you, brother.
I think you're great. I think you're fucking great. I don't know if this is how the show was supposed to go, but you know, we're doing the show.
Yeah.
Who are the people listening to the show?
Well, my mom will always listen. But no, man. So across every platform, I probably get a couple 100,000 minimum impressions and views. But we'll launch at YouTube mainly, and then I go everywhere. Podbean, Spotify. This will be 270 episodes for me.
I love it.
So
good job.
Yeah, all over.
Good job.
All
well,
over.
I love being here on the show with you. If we can help anybody out with the tools we have at Wake Up Warrior, we'd love to help.
Yes.
Support you, your Bible study. Same things we're doing with Drew.
Yeah.
We figured some stuff out with Bible stacking.
Yeah.
How to take the word, turn it into wisdom, how to take that wisdom, transfer it to work, and how to get that work to produce wealth.
Awesome.
So happy to share all that with you off the show and see how we can support you guys. The stuff we figured out took us a long time to figure out.
Yeah.
And we just want to empower as many young people as we can to start living this way, because you guys are going to be the ones that are going to flip the planet.
Let's go.
I'm a bridge builder.
Let's go.
We're just building a bridge to the promised land.
Let's go.
And you got to get all the people out of Egypt running across the desert with us.
Yeah.
All right, my man.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Let's go. Thank you so much, Garrett.
You got it, brother. Appreciate being on the
Yes,
show.
sir. Peace.